call a meeting to order. This is WA6LBU Board of Directors. I am sorry, I am the chairman of the board, not the board of directors. I may be big, but I'm not that big. We'll start with a roll call, starting from the bottom. DX.
This is an odd numbered month, so we start at the top.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the odd number month that we did it backwards. Okay. In that case, we'll start at the top. First area.
First area present, KDB1XP.
Okay. Second.
Second area present, EC2MT.
Okay. Third area. Didn't think I saw him.
He was there.
He was here.
What?
Keon's on.
He was here earlier.
You muted Keon.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm not seeing him in my gallery.
I don't see him.
I see him.
I see him.
I see him.
See him
I got a
also.
2-page gallery now. Wow.
Okay.
Well,
Doug,
I'll count him here
are
because
you
I see him.
are you seeing him?
Yeah, I see him.
Okay, we'll count him here, even though he's.
It's a 2-page gallery now.
Oh, okay. Fourth area.
Here, K9 GWS.
Okay, fifth area is here, W6LBU. Sixth area.
Sixth area, WY6N.
Okay, seventh area.
Mayor, KE7RG, on time.
Okay, eighth area.
Whiskey 8, November Echo Tango.
Okay, ninth area.
W9 ROG.
And 10th area.
A0HF present.
Okay, vice president.
A1 Good evening.
President.
KL7OR present.
Okay, everybody's here.
DX.
DX. 11.
TX here, present, apologized to the board for neither of us being here last month. Present.
That's okay. I'm sorry, I just passed right over you as I tried to do. Okay, looks like everybody's on board. We have October meeting minutes. Are there any corrections or questions on the minutes? Okay, accepted by acclamation.
Yep.
And financials for October. Are there any corrections or questions on those?
Yes.
I had one, and I probably should have mentioned it earlier before the meeting started. There's a comment in the comments, Gary. 3 of the new members paid for their first award.
Yeah, so that is somebody who has paid for their first award. In other words, they got their first free award, but now they got a second award that they paid for.
Sorry. I thought it was their first free award that they had paid for. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
The reason I know that is because they're not in the system, and I have to set them up all the new guys. So
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I had a question. But I'm not getting my copy of the financials to show up. I'm sorry, just a second. There we go. Hey, on October, so the eyeball reserve account, is that need to come up? I think it's got list 373, and shouldn't it be 1,000 in there?
So we have not gotten Clay's final eyeball report yet. So there may be some money coming back from the eyeball. We don't have that information yet.
I got you.
Okay.
Hey, one other thing I noticed was under liabilities, it says net income down $1,264, and scrolling down under profit loss under net income 372.41. Is
that was for the month, and the other number is year to date.
Oh, okay. All right. It kind of looked like it was under October. Okay. I that sounds good. Thank you, Gary. Thank
No problem.
Okay. With that, any other questions for Gary?
Contact.
Say again?
Contact.
Uh, go ahead, Ken.
Yep. Just letting you know I'm here. I'm in motion.
Oh, okay. No sweat. In my gallery, I'm not seeing you, so if I pass over you, scream at me and I'll come back to you. Okay. Since there's no other questions for the financials, they're approved by acclamation. I'm not hearing any objections there. We have no old business, new business, the new award fee motion. Do I have a second on that motion?
Second V3 CMB.
Okay, now we can discuss it. I imagine there will be some questions. Are there any questions for Gary or Ben? I guess both Ben and Gary. Is Ben here?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay. Any questions for either Gary or Ben?
Yes.
Who was yes?
Raj.
Oh, okay. I saw your hand wave. Go ahead, Roger.
Please explain to me how PDFs incur costs like PayPal fees.
If you pay via PayPal, they charge 49 cents per transaction plus a percentage of the amount that you pay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you pay by check, you know, there are no fees associated with it, but we still need the gross profit on awards to cover the rest of club expenses, because
Right.
awards are the only source of revenue. So a PDF still has to generate money, and if it's paid for by PayPal, it's going to be reduced by that.
Question.
Go ahead, question.
You sure you're proposing to raise it enough? Seems like maybe from 3 to 4 isn't much of a jump mid-year. How about going to
You're
all the way
right,
to 5?
but if you look at the projections, and I will say they've got to be within the ballpark. You know, we don't have a whole lot going on here, and if we do have runaway inflation, then we're all in big trouble anyhow. So I made liberal adjustments for inflation going into the future, and still came up with a small net loss at the end of the 5th year. But the first 4 years, everything was covered. And we've got what, Gary, $5,000 in the treasury. We can cover any minor little tweaks from year to year. Also, Gene suggested that maybe we ought to go to $7. I plugged that into my model, and it would provide additional profitability at the end of the 5th year. But the question you have to ask is, if we raise it too much, is that going to drive people away? And you know, it's a balancing act. When you start when you really go to town on people, you'll incur some something other than goodwill from them. And that was our reasoning going into it. We
even though we haven't raised. Well, let me finish here with Robin's question. Even though we haven't raised our fees in 10 years, I think if somebody saw the fees going up as much as they were, they wouldn't sort of incorporate the fact that these fees haven't been raised for, I don't know how many, 10 or more years. And so it would look like a really huge increase, Robin, as well. So I think it's a reasonable increase that gets us to where a comfortable position in terms of our finances.
Well, I can see that. I think another dollar on there would be just as comfortable. We don't charge an annual membership fee or anything.
That is true, but that is what brought about the reasoning for our last fee decrease. People saw the balance in the Treasury building, and they said, let's give it back to the members. So again, it's a balancing act.
Okay.
And I think we hit it right. I mean, if you don't agree with my analysis, tell me where it's wrong.
WNAT.
And then B3 CMB.
Okay. Robin, are you done?
I'm done, yes.
Okay. Gene, go ahead.
Thank you. And thank you for the discourse, Ben. We had a good conversation about this issue. The only issue for me with the motion is the timing for any other increase. 4 years for checking the prices could be too late. The only thing is that and Ben said exactly that if we need to adjust it as a group for the board, we can do that anytime if we have a real issue for inflation or bigger costs or whatever. So that was my thought. I'm done.
And I understand that it would be nice if we could do it at more frequent intervals, but there is a significant cost in volunteer labor every time we change rates. And if we do it too often, we also lose goodwill of the members. They'll feel like they're being railroaded every other year, another fee increase, et cetera, et cetera. And we talked about it on the awards committee and decided 4 years was right, and we should have a 5-year cycle. Yeah, look back at the rate increases or the rate changes over the history of the club, and there's only been 4 in close to 50 years. So we'd be increasing the frequency of that kind of thing to the extent that people would take notice, and that's what I'm worried about.
You know, the other thing too is that it says we will do it in 4 years. So it's sort of a mandatory requirement of 4 years. But if something changed significantly in between, we could certainly take a look at it again. And I intend, when we do our budget, Ben's got some good projections there to make a comparison to his projections so that you guys know where we're at on it. And as long as we're tracking, we're fine. But if something comes up that we didn't anticipate, we can always make a change.
Yeah, that was my question. Is there anything preventing us at, say, year 2 or 3 to take another look at this?
No, you're the board of directors. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You just can't revisit it within a year per the rules.
Mm-hmm.
But this just says we're not going to let it go 10 years before we look at it.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe the wording could be slightly changed to at a minimum. But absolutely, if the board sees something going askew between now and then, we can bring it up. We can always bring it up and go through it. So that was the one thing I wanted to make, a comment I wanted to make, Gene. The other one was, the value we have in there now could actually get us out. I think it was about 4 years without doing anything, but then we'd be bankrupt. But with this, the way it's laid out right now, in 5 years' time, with the estimated numbers from Gary, we will still have about $5,000 in our treasury in 5 years' time. So I think that's great.
That's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In my mind,
Okay.
for a nonprofit corporation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you look at what a major expense might be that would come up and distort the numbers, I have an example. I had to buy a printer a couple of years ago, and that was $1,000 or so, plus or minus. I forget the exact amount, Gary, but
I think it was about $1,200 to bet.
yeah, and so we have enough cushion to cover something like that.
Yeah.
If it occurs, and I can't think of anything that would cost us any more than that.
Okay. And Craig, are you done?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Are there other questions?
One more comment. Thank you, Ben and Gary, for your diligent and detailed work for this issue. Thank you.
Ben did most of it, and the award committee, I think, did a great job.
Yeah.
as well.
I'll make a comment. Ben and Johnny, KI4WCQ, boy, they really did the analysis and did it well and led the discussion. Johnny needs to be mentioned in that as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I felt when I read it, I tried to come up with questions, and they pretty much hit everything that I was concerned about in it. So, good job on that. If I don't have any questions, you you hit all the bases. With that, any other questions?
Well, I'll say I rubbed all my hair away trying to put that projection together, and now I'm sporting the Craig look.
I appreciate that.
It looks more like Clay.
Still got some fringe.
Just wait until somebody walks up and goes, "Oh, crystal ball."
You're saving money on shampoo. It's getting pretty expensive.
That's true. Very true.
It's a good look, Ben. It's a good look. Okay, with that, let's vote on this motion, starting with the first area.
First area approves, KB1XP.
Okay, thank you. Second area.
Second area approves, AC2MT.
Okay, third area.
Third area approves, KE3HAY. Good job.
Okay, fourth area.
Oh, approved, K9GWS.
You had a claim moment there, Gary.
Yeah, I know.
The fifth area approves, WA6LVU. Sixth area.
Sixth area approves, WY6N.
Okay, seventh area.
Seventh area approved. Very, very complete. Very good job.
Okay, eighth area.
Eighth area approved, Whiskey 8 America Tango.
Okay, ninth area.
Ninth area approved, ROG.
Okay, 10th area.
Approved, AA0HS.
DX.
DX area approves with a comment. You know that $5 reward in our Canadian funds is going to mean I got to pay you $100. DX area approves, V3CMV.
Just send him some beer. Vice President.
Vice President approves, AA1NA.
Okay, and President.
Approved, KL7OR.
Okay, it is unanimous. Motion passes. And okay, I don't think if I remember right, there's only one. Yep. Okay. With that, we come down to questions and comments for the board from the gallery.
Clay.
Yes.
You've got nominations for president first.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I'm scrolling through all of the information on that last motion, and
I get paid to keep you honest.
Yeah, that's okay. That's I was going and assumed. This is WA6LBU. I do not know why I just ID'd. Old habits die hard. Okay, nominations for president.
KE7RG, 7th area. Well, I'm going to nominate somebody. I think he's got a good proven track record. He knows our organization in and out. and he seems to promote creativity and do a good job. So I'd like to see him elected again. So Dean Davis, I nominate you, like it or not.
Okay, thank you. Dean, wait a second. Can we hear it? Railroad. Okay, any other nominations from the floor? Even from the table?
Let's give it via accepts.
He's shaking his head with a noose around his neck. Do you accept, Mr. President?
What's that?
I said, do you accept the nomination, Mr. President?
Oh, I get a choice. Oh, good.
We didn't say that.
Maybe I need to think about that. No, that's fine. Yes.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'd just like to make one comment real quick. Just FYI, the election thing got off to a kind of a rough start for a couple of days. We've found some inconsistencies between the bylaws and the election handbook. I think we've got those resolved for this cycle, and we'll get them approved after the election's over with. And it has to do with notification of who notifies who in the process of nomination. So anyway, so we're on top of that. So I apologize for that. I sat on an email for a couple of days, and anyway, we got it all resolved. So
okay,
I can say that there was another director that threw his hat into the ring today, or somebody threw his hat in the ring for director. N2XTT offered his services as director for the second area. And that message will go through the proper channels, of course.
Okay. Okay. Old business, new business, none. Okay. Now I guess. Okay. Rich?
No, I just moving along.
Oh, okay. All I saw on my screen was a big hand. Okay. Anything else? Any questions, comments from the floor to the board of directors, or vice versa?
Comment, W18D.
Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. One of the things that we need to consider for the upcoming change of fees for the club. That monies and the numbers were consistent for the same revenue for a couple or 3 or 4 years. We need to get more revenue and more check-ins and people involved with the club. And I still think we need to consider doing something more for the club, for advertisement or promotion for the club, and getting a new blood for the club. And I would love to see any ideas for that. I thought we had a couple of ideas that were bandied about, but never did anything. And I would love to think about other ideas, something to do, getting more advertisement, check-ins, whatever, to pick up the check-ins numbers. I'm still looking at the numbers, and we're still getting some new check-ins, but it is still a hard number going down for a couple years. Even if we have new check-ins for a couple months, people don't stay. So we need to do something. Ideas? Question mark.
Hey, and Ben can tell me to shut up or not, but hey, there's some exciting stuff coming from the awards committee shortly. Some challenging awards that branch out from just sideband. That's in the works, and I think having more activity on the nets when people are hearing us making contacts, not only new ones but existing members. I think that's more exciting than them hearing no call back to net, all red, sea of red, check me out. There's some good things coming. So one aspect there I think is good. The other aspects we'll see.
True, we've got a couple of awards in the pipeline, and one of them is Kirk's too humble to talk about. He authored it. Quite an involved award for the 250th anniversary of the U.S. and our 50th anniversary combined. So I think that'll certainly spur on some contacts. What I would worry about, Gene, and I have expressed this many times, is that we're suffering from entropy because so many of our contacts are within the club.
Exactly. I think. Thank you, Kirk and Ben, for the great ideas for more stuff for the club. However, we need more blood, new blood, more check-ins, and I'm seeing the numbers. It's still dwindling. I know we're still getting some check-ins, but it's minimal. And our check-in list is dwindling almost every month, and we need to do something.
Can I speak to that, Clay?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I see a lot of times, like tonight's 40 meter net had like 3 new stations in there. The last time I was on 40 meters, there were 5. By the time it comes my turn and I try to call them, mostly they're all gone. They don't stay around. Yeah. So I think finding a way to keep them in the net and, not have the drive-by. I want to check in to help their net numbers, or because I like to talk on my radio and I want to acknowledge just checking in the net. There's a lot of reasons people check into the net and then don't hang around. Increasing our check-in numbers without having actual participation helps nobody. So I think that's the thing, and the solution to it. I mean, I know Gary has automation that sends out messages fairly quickly, but perhaps pairing people up with a mentor would be useful. If I had to look at the club documentation and figure out how to get into the Century Club with my short memory problem after encephalitis, I would never make it. I'm only here because N3WD held my hand and helped me get my 100-point number and showed me how to participate in the nets and how to do it efficiently. So, I mean, helping people along like that, with a personal connection might just answer some of the issues that Gene has raised.
Doug, I think it's a great idea, and I believe that is one of the things we need to do as area directors. And I have tried doing that for many newer 8th area director, 8th area check-ins with some success. some not a success. For example, Kilo Echo 8, Victor Oscar Papa. I took Elizabeth by the hand, and she was 33 miles away, so it was easy. But and I think that needs to be done with every area director.
Okay.
Comment.
Hang on a second. Mac, you've been very patient.
Well, I didn't want to step on anybody that had something to say. So I spent a considerable amount of time studying and dissecting the awards fee increase. I talked to several of the board members and my area director, and I had a little bit of heartburn with one category, but the bottom line is I've decided that it has to happen because of the fiscal situation. So there's that part of it. So I support. It's already been voted on, but I support the unanimous vote. In my conversations, I had discussed the possibility of putting, and I know this is not a new idea, others have had this idea also, put a donation tab on the home page of the Century Club website. It's a voluntary thing. It would be voluntary for someone to do it, and it can say right there, make a voluntary donation to the 3905 Century Club. And along with that, I think that same option should be available when a member pays for their awards via PayPal. There should be an additional link on the awards payment page that says make a voluntary donation to the Century Club. I think that we're missing out on the potential of unfettered, bringing a little bit of tremendous windfall, but I think that it's positive. I don't see anything negative in that. I don't see it like we're begging for money. I see it like we're offering an opportunity for members to make a voluntary donation. So that's, and from talking to a few of the people, I don't know if I don't really feel necessary to mention their name, but they know who they are. But I think it should be considered. And I don't see it as begging at all. I see it as an option for people that would actually like to donate. I, for one, would most likely, from the awards payment page, I would most likely make a donation every time I apply for an award. Now, if it's $2 or $3 or $5, it doesn't matter. It's tied in with the initial fees, so there's still the single transaction fee, and it's money that's not tied to anything, and there's no reciprocal costs from that except for the transaction fees, and I think it could increase some of the bottom line for the club. Now, I don't know what the historical reasons for not having that available, but it's my opinion that it should be available. On Doug's thought, I would be more than happy to be a mentor in as much as I'm capable of any club, anybody. It doesn't matter what area they're in. I'm more than willing to help somebody. I'll make myself available for contact, phone and email to help new people coming into the club. I have no problem doing that. I think it's a very good idea. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Mac. Appreciate it. Any other?
That does, can I say, it does work. When KB3ONN checked in, I sent him an email before the net was over, and you see him in a lot of nets.
So I will get the donate button moved to the homepage. It's not on the homepage, but we do have a donate button. I'll get it moved to the homepage in the next few days. Not a problem.
And the checkout form?
What's that?
And an extra line on the checkout form when we're ordering a certificate could be optional extra
No, I
donation?
think I heard it. I heard a suggestion that we put basically a donate button on the home page.
And on the PayPal payment link for awards payments.
It's there. It says donate to the Bureau. Yeah, we'll make that donate to the club. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, we can make that. I can make that change. I'll talk to Matt.
Okay.
Independent of awards, right? Or wait a minute. Let me look at the other one.
On the link that you click on to pay for awards,
yeah,
there should be an independent link on that. When that gets formatted, there should be an independent link on there that says make a donation, a voluntary donation to the Century Club.
Additional donation.
Optional.
Yeah. So, and then I know this is off topic, and I'll wait, but if anybody wants an eyeball update, a 2026 eyeball update, I'll do that when it's appropriate.
Okay. Is there anything? Okay, Peter, go ahead.
You talked about news stations and having a hard time. And when a news station checks in near the end of the list, they rarely get any calls at all. I could suggest at the NCS, a news station checks in. And he has to be new because it's really not fair to the other people sitting on the list. You could give the news station a call right then and there. That's his first call. And then when his call comes up again, give him his second call. That way you might have him stay there. That's all. I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I interject also?
Okay, I saw Eric's hand go up. I heard a voice.
VA 3YKT.
Okay, let me get Eric, and John, you're next.
Yeah, the only comment I'd have on using the term donate is it's important to understand, I mean, we're not a tax deductible organization, right? There's no tax deductibility with a donation. We might want to think of a different term for that, like contribute to the club, just so people don't get confused and start looking for their receipt for their tax deduction. Just consider that, Dean, as you're looking at the language. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. John?
I just a comment on Gene and Peter's statement. I also have noticed any news stations that seem to come in, they get a rough ride because they don't get the chance to come in. They're new, so they're kind of expecting right off the bat to be able to make a quick call. And they're not any different from students that I've taught over the years. Focus and attention is very short. So if you haven't given them a call early, they tend to walk away and see if they can find something on the band where they can either make a quick contact or do something else. My suggestion is not that far away from Gene's. If we have news stations at the beginning of a net, or even midway through a net, allow them to make one call, but make it a specific call. Let them go up for grabs. And that way initiate them into the sequence in the sense that if they've got a part of a call or something like that, net control can help right away. And extend the idea also that, these are the limits of your call. You can go, it's 2-1 or 5-9 and do the max thing quickly. You're offering them a hook to stay. I remember when I first joined, I got a quick call. In fact, I got a lot of quick calls. And that's actually what drove me to come back night after night and make sure that people who wanted to make a call to my station at least got an opportunity to do that. I find that if they don't get a quick call like that, they tend to drift off. Only a suggestion, give them an opportunity right up front to make a quick call. Have them go up for grabs immediately and use that as a learning process to go with it.
Contact and comment.
Okay,
Raj, I
hang
think
on.
it'll end up.
Yeah,
Sorry.
hang on a second. Gene, Roger, go ahead.
Well, I think you're going to get Craig before anything else, weren't you?
Craig?
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, you're done. Okay. So it's been my experience that whenever there's a new station on the nets, everybody calls them because they're new. So, I mean, why do they need an extra call when everybody's calling them anyways? A lot of times when it gets down to their call, they're like, well, hey, everybody's called me already. I got no calls.
Yeah, I'll comment to Roger's comment real quick. I think that varies a lot net to net. You know, if they are indeed a new station and there's no other real attractive, sexy locations, you know, someone checks in from Hawaii, they're not calling the new guy. Yeah. So
exactly.
I think there's a lot of variation.
Yeah, I know I'm out of turn here, but I just wanted to comment on Roger. One of the things, Roger, that I see, and it'd be nice if we could change people's behavior, but I don't know if we can. If somebody calls, there might be 6 new stations on the list. And if somebody calls one station and gets a response, it seems like everybody calls that station and the rest of them sit there and nothing happens. And it's like, you know, I will oftentimes not call the station that's getting all the calls, and it overwhelms them. You know, we got to think about this. They're not having a new station go up for grabs is sometimes a nightmare because they go up for grabs. They get all these stations calling back to them. And usually what they respond is, I couldn't hear anything. Yet they heard bits and pieces, and sometimes we can get them to pull out bits and pieces. But it's difficult for a new station to do something like that. So I just wanted to comment on what you said, Roger. Sorry.
No. You're completely correct. That's why I don't just call who everybody else is calling. I call people that I need. I need their state. I don't care if you know everybody's calling them or you know, whatever. And I would hope that's what everyone else is doing too. They're calling because they need the state, not just because the person speaks up. I'm done.
Not true.
It's before you go there, Gene, let me sort of butt in now a little bit as well. John, actually, in my mind, that's a good idea. Okay, because we do have, occasionally we have 3 or 4 new stations check in, and it's whether it's near the beginning, typically not, but as we go out, as we go through the net. Okay, so yes, the first station that somebody calls and they're responding, that's always who everybody else calls. But so then the other stations that have checked in, the other new stations that have checked in, and they've been here for 10, 15 minutes and haven't gotten a call, you know, they're going to go away. So, you know, maybe that's actually a good idea. I think that when a new station checks in midway through the net, they're allowed to make one call. And yes, going up for grabs and it's a big chaos, but we have to explain that to them. We have to explain that to all new stations anyway, or we should be explaining that to them.
So I would be willing to say, Craig, the way we do it now, of the stations that stick around, about 50% of them take a pass on their turn. And the reason for that is they'll say this, I want to listen for a while and understand what's going on. And so we used to, when we first started giving 2 calls to new stations, we used to put them down right under the and give them their turn right after DX.
Yep, after DX.
And it didn't work very, very well because most of them didn't want to make a call. The only thing it did for us was it identified who was there and who wasn't there. But by the time the masters get through the list, you pretty much know who's there and who's not there. So that's the only comment. I think Dean's been waiting for a while. We've been stepping on him.
Well, you know, I'm no expert here, but I think that from the nets that I've seen, the new stations we're losing are the new stations that check into the pre-list and they're not seeing anything that interests them other than NCS calling for check-ins. And so you get a handful of them, and by the time you get ready to start, they're gone. a good portion of them are gone.
Yep.
I mean, and we can't fix that. And you know, John, you mentioned, okay, so we do on the pre-list, let them have their call. I mean, is that what we should be doing? I don't buy into that, but
I disagree with that, Dean. We have many new stations check in on the end of the second round, or I have anyway. No, only do one net a month, or sorry, a week. But a lot of them check in near the end of the second round, but by the time, or near the end of the first round, by the time we go through the second round, nobody's calling them. Nobody's calling them. Nobody's calling them. We get down to them. They're not there. Well, of course not.
They're not any different. They're not any different from students that I've seen in the past. They're short. The focus is short. They want to make a quick call. If you don't invite them in, they're not going to stay. They're going to move on to something else. And I would feel the same way if I was ignored. In fact, to be honest with you, it was one of the reasons why I didn't want to stay with Ole Miss. By the time I got down to number 67 and I got my call, I was asleep at the switch. There was no way I was going to make a call. I didn't care who was on it anymore. And it was just boring to sit there for 2.5 hours before you made a call. So what I'm saying is basically hook them in, bring them in, allow them to do something. And then if they leave after that, that's they can do that. It's not but I'm saying tantalize them a little bit to allow them to stay and say, hey, well, that was a pretty good experience. Let me carry on, and I'll stay for a while. It's frustrating when you've got 3 or 4 or 5 new stations. By the time you get to me or get to the DX area and you start down the list below, half of them are gone. And half of them are states that could be worked for awards. So it's a frustrating thing, both for the staff who are people who are there and our members, as well as for the new guy coming in, because he's sitting there waiting for something to happen and it's not happening. That's just my point of view.
Okay, hang on, Gene. Matt, go ahead.
This subject is a little bit frustrating for me, and I'm not the most experienced person in this session meeting, but I've been around enough, and I see that the masters on any net do a great job of contact. They'll weed them out like right off the bat. We can't do anything about new stations checking in 20 minutes before the net starts, and then by the time the net starts, they're not there. There's nothing that can be done about that. But the stations that are there and the stations that check in mid first round check-ins or end of round check-ins, if they're new, the masters do an exceptional job of seeking out a contact with the new station. So I understand John's point. I really do. But I don't, it's just my opinion that either they're going to like the net format or they're not. That's how I look at it. And this type of format is not for everybody. It's an acquired taste, and once you get it, you can't leave it. It's just kind of my opinion on the matter. So I think as it stands, we have a good core of NCS operators. We have an exceptional core of experienced operators that will call new stations with great regularity. So the only reason that a new station isn't going to get a call is because they're not there. I don't know. I don't really want to beat a dead horse over this, but I think that we're doing the best we can given the format of the net without disrupting the entirety of the net, keeping it flowing the way it's flowing, I think is fine. I do completely understand John's point, but I think it would be, you can't make somebody stay in the seat. You can't make somebody stay focused, nothing about. If they're not interested, they're not interested. It really, to me, it's that simple. W6PNY, back to net.
Comment.
Okay. Keon, you're next. However, Gene, go ahead.
Okay, couple of things. Gary, I agree. I have done that the same thing. When I see the guy who is not getting a call, I'll call him and just wake him up and welcome to the net and so on. And I think that works. Sometimes it does. Raj, I was not trying to diss you. However, I don't care. I have all of the contacts I have ever I will need. So, yes, maybe you need your state, this state, whatever you need. Idaho. I'm not worried about the contacts. I'm trying to get the guys to welcome to the net and be active to the for the Century Club, and you a couple said the same thing. Our masters have done a great job of welcoming new check-ins and gently and not pushing it too much. Just gently welcoming them genuinely to the net. I'm done. Whiskey 8 number Echo Tango.
Okay, Keon and then Robin.
All right, thank you so much. Kind of sort of to what Doug said earlier in the conversation, without drawing this out again. Doug, maybe, in the next few weeks or so, maybe we can have lunch and just kind of have like a brainstorm. Maybe we can come up with an award that would incorporate not only some Elmering, but also incorporate the new people so that it actually gives them something to work toward that is attainable. Now, granted, I know we have the 100-point number that they need to get and all of that, but if we can kind of have something that can go in conjunction with that to kind of like bring them along, get that 100-point number, and then now we got them on the hook for another award right behind it, that would assist as well, because everybody has a lot of scenarios that we've presented. We cannot present them all, and nor can we predict them as they come up. But if we put some type of game plan in place that kind of incorporates all of these, I think we're a little bit closer to the goal than kind of, taking stabs at various scenarios to figure out which one's going to work. That's all I had to say.
Okay.
Hi, Keon. I'd love to do lunch. One of my favorite things to do.
Okay. Robin, go ahead.
What if somebody that was new was invited to spend 60 seconds introducing themselves, where they could mention anything about their relationship to the hobby or their town or their community or their whatever? Let them sell themselves to us a little bit and feel more like part of the family. That's all I had.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Real quick, we're going on an hour here, so. Okay, Mr. President, do you have anything to add to the?
I just say, if you got some ideas, write them down and send them to me. I'll consider doing some changes. I'm not going to do anything radical, but I'll surely listen to the ideas and maybe we can put together NCS committee and kind of noodle around a bit. I don't have all the answers. Nobody does, but I've heard a lot of good things and some things that I'm not sure would work or not work, kind of a thing. I've got other comments. I'll just keep them to myself, but we are complex just like everybody else is complex. I mean, we are probably similarly complex like OMIS is in what we do, but what we do is unique. And I think that it's really important that we preserve what we do is unique and keep that ball rolling forward. And I would hate to start making a lot of this is and that's and start diluting some of our core values. That's what I believe in. So write them up to me, and even if you're not an NCS, and this is one of the problems we've got today, and maybe a lot of you don't know, we have less than a handful of NCSs that are west of the Mississippi. Our nets are all focused on the East Coast right now. And if you look at the check-ins on the late nets, we have one or two people that may be on the West Coast, like maybe Wayne or myself or somebody else, but the bulk of them are all on the East Coast. And it's kind of tough to navigate that. And that's the problem that we've created and we haven't been able to undo. And right now, we're still only running 275-meter nets a week because we don't have NCSs. And a lot of you have put in recommendations for NCSs, and we're keeping them full. They all want to do early nets. They don't want to do late nets. And that's problematic. But again, we're getting the pool of people interested in the club from the east. So we really need to work hard at how do we bump up those west or those late nets. So and I heard last week somebody says, I don't want to step into 1 a.m. and not make a contact. I just don't want to do that. So anyway, but yeah, let's keep this going and figure out if we can do something that wouldn't harm us. We can try anything for a while. I'm open to it, but what I ask for in return, if we're going to do make those kinds of things, is that we've got some way that we can measure the success, and we're not just doing things to be doing things. Back to you, Clay.
Okay. With that, I guess we'll adjourn. And
Motion to adjourn, V3CMB.
Second. Hang on a second. I have a hand up from Roger.
Sorry.
Hey, real quick. Does anyone have any information on Ginger?
He was on the net 3 days ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
She was on 40 minutes and feeder 40 meter nets tonight
From Illinois.
Illinois.
So she has moved. She has moved from California to Illinois. I talked to her the other day on the air, and so she's in Illinois. I didn't get a chance to ask her where she's at. Her sister used to live in Crystal Lake, which was a town next to where I lived.
Right.
So she's probably in that area somewhere.
Okay, because she sent me an email a couple of days ago saying, "Hey, guess what? I moved from California to Illinois."
Yeah,
and I emailed her back and never got anything. So it's like, okay, was this legit or did somebody hack her account? Or
it's legit.
Okay, cool.
She is in on Thursday when she checked into the net, Raj. I confirmed that her FCC address has already been changed. So she is fixed in Illinois right now.
Cool. Okay. Thank you. I'm done.
Okay. Let's go ahead and adjourn. Thanks for everybody for coming. Thanks for all the great ideas and discussion. With that, we're adjourned.